So here's a kind of an interesting question, because we all see headlines and national data. How do we take national housing information and apply it to values in the local steamboat market? And I'm not sure if anybody's tried to do this, but I'm sure a lot of the brokers in the room have. And this is my example of a broker in Steamboat trying to explain housing values to a buyer. It's not an easy proposition. So the market today is kind of in a strange place. And what we're seeing is pricing and values all over the board. We're seeing, and we kind of saw this in 2007. That was kind of interesting when we looked back. And what we're seeing is, what we saw in 2007 was prices on the high end, for example, a house might sell for $500,000, another house might sell for $500 a foot, another house might sell for $750 a foot, another house might sell for $900 a foot, and nobody could really figure out what anything was worth. So it's very interesting that on the bottom side of the market, we're seeing something similar happen. So sounds all great in theory, and what I thought would be fun was to show you guys some examples of what we see working in the business. So we pulled up some real life examples. So here's two single family homes. First one here was built in 2010, and it sold for $445 a foot. And then we've got a second house here that was built in 2007, and it sold for $150 a foot. Clearly there's differences in quality and location, but that's a pretty big difference. Here's two houses in Catamount Ranch subdivision, and all these transactions happened in 2011, and these happened in the last 6 months. This house here, the first one, sold for $433 a foot, and then the second one sold for $100 a foot less. And I would argue this one probably was of significantly higher quality. Then downtown, we've got two single family homes here, and this one's really interesting. I think a lot of people don't know about this sale or even pay attention to it, but I think it's important. This house sold for $60,000 over asking price. It sold for $444 a foot. And then this house in downtown, which is located on a 3-acre lot, which is relatively unique for downtown, sold for $100 a square foot less, and the house was recently remodeled. Kind of interesting. This here, so it's not only single family homes that this occurs in, that this is occurring in. We picked a couple townhomes and condos here, and this townhome was built in 2007, and it sold for $251 a foot. And then directly across the street, we have a condo built in 2006 that sold for $422 a foot. Now, there's always going to be differences in finishes and locations, but we feel like these differences in value are not what you'd see in a normal, more stable market.